Okay, I could go back to Skyhold right this moment, but I know we have a few things not finished yet. Oh, so are you gonna just follow me until that happens? I'll meet you there. Because return to Skyhold might be, a little bit of ways. Hawk is still with me. Let me see. Let me see what we still have around here. I mean, we have the dragon. Can we at least go back and tell Charter about Butcher first? Yeah. Let's do that. And you know what? Before that, I'm actually gonna go find the bodies first, alright? Yeah, in the flood. The refugees. Is it right here? Okay, I thought we had to go back to the cavern again. But if it's around here, maybe that's gonna be easier. Not bad. Forget about the deep stalkers. Just one. Oh, there's a body right here. No? That's way more than 3 bodies. I'm just saying. I gave the barrier to the deep stalker.
Hey, do you think they'll have pie when we get back? I could use pie. Or 3.
That's a lot of pie for one person.
You'd understand if you've ever been hungry. In your bones hungry.
I don't think Sarah was very well off the whole time, so I don't know, when you live in poverty like that, your relationship with food might be a bit... like, you don't know when your next meal is gonna be, so whenever you have the chance to have food, you make sure you eat a whole ton of it, so that you don't regret things. There's an astrarium here. Can I get the landmark and the astrarium before we go? Here we are. It was a little above the... old Crestwood is down there. Different elevation. Seems simple-ish. Wait. This one's harder than the previous one, even though there's less points. Hold up. I think I got it. Let's see. Shape seems a little bit off. Am I okay? Here we go. Bird. Tenebrium. Called Shadow in the common parlance, likely due to the ancient association of the constellation Tenebrium with Lucican, the old god of darkness and the night. It is odd, however, that the depiction for this constellation has always been an owl and not a dragon, even in the Tevinter texts. This lends credence to the widely held belief that Tenebrium was a name meant to supplant an older elven association, perhaps with the elven god Felondane, sometimes represented in tales as a giant owl. There is, however, of course, another explanation. Owls are nocturnal hunters and among earlier peoples were considered terrifying omens of loss. See, another one. A lot of these these myths all sort of overlap. What's this house then? There's stuff in here, that's what. Where's your door? Who lives here? This house is smart. They built high up. So that... oh, you could have gone up here. Okay. That's fine. They built high up so that the flood wouldn't... oh. What the hell happened here? They weren't affected by the flood, but... bandits, all that. Fisherman's hut. The stink of carrion fills the air around this hut. Ooh. Okay. I will go back to the sister.
Your worship.
I've already found the remains of the people who died in Old Crestwood.
Blessed Andraste. I didn't imagine you'd look yourself. Thank you for your thoughtfulness. It is all too rare these days. I will prepare the bodies for cremation.
You're welcome. We all gotta do our part. Now we can go tell Charter what happened, and then I think I'll call it a wrap for this area temporarily. There's the dragon, the wyvern. But given our last experiences seeing a dragon creature, not sure how to feel about that. Charter?
Well met, your worship.
I found Butcher's corpse by the South Road. Red Templars ambushed me afterward.
Only our highest operatives knew he was coming tonight. I must inform Sister Nightingale we have a traitor.
I didn't even think about it like that.
What's happening in Crestwood?
The dragon circling the lake looks hungrier than usual. Travelers on the road will be scarce until it's gone.
Okay.
I should be going.
Another time.
There's a dragon here. Expose the double agent operation. Okay. This sounds like a good time for us to go back. Yeah. We're opening up a lot of areas. I really would like to maybe finish them off before we move on, but some of this stuff like shards, yeah, I'll just do it later on. That's fine. Yeah, let's go back for now.
We can't fight a god.
The Elder thing's not a god. He's darkspawn. The Maker's no darkspawn.
But they say that's why he cut the sky. To claim the throne.
You're telling me gods fight like owls? Sounds like bullshit.
Yeah. Don't give him legitimacy by thinking he's actually a god. He doesn't deserve that. Gonna start the war table stuff first, and then we'll have a look around Skyhold. I don't know if anybody has anything to say, but let's start this first. We have a perk. I want the dialogue options for all of them before even doing anything else. Oh, but there's so many other... Yeah, there's other stuff. How many are we missing? We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're just missing this one then. Okay, we'll get it, and then next time we can start looking at other stuff. Fantastic. Okay, we have 50 power just sitting here. Tevinder resistance. My agent Tamar reports success. One less despicable Tevinder Magister to worry about. Naturally, the rest of the Magisterium assumes the hand behind the deed was Magister Talani herself, and that she reports they have respectfully backed away from both her and her supporters. She sends her thanks, a box of candy chocolates, and a variety of other useful items. The chocolates are mine, but the rest I pass on to you. Inquisitor, Liliana. Talking about killing people and chocolates in the same breath. Recent Evangeline. Inquisitor, Evangeline and I owe you our freedom, and indeed our very lives. I am greatly saddened to hear what happened at the Conclave. I had truly hoped for a peaceful end to this conflict, and the death of so many good people is a tragedy. Our own investigation took us to renegade Templars using a strange new red form of Lyrium. I am chagrined that they were powerful enough to subdue us, although your agents tell us that these red Templars serve as shock troops for the enemy, who has had both mages and Templars dancing to his tune. Evangeline and I need to recover from our wounds, and our presence at Skyhold will only cause tension with the rebel mages you brought to the Inquisition. Once we are healed, we would be honored to serve. Yours, Reese, Senior Enchanter. Equitarians. Making sure you know what sect he's part of. There is a note below, presumably added by Cole. I asked you not to do this. I was upset until it saved them. This is good. Deploy Reese and Evangeline. The magic used in Redcliffe. This is for Liliana. Alexius has been put to work as a magical researcher for the Inquisition. The spell he used in Redcliffe was incredibly complex. Even he doesn't understand all the theory behind it. But he has confessed it was only possible to cast because a breach has thinned the veil. Alexius can look into applications of the theory for safer use. Liliana only.
Let's see what we have.
We give him books and our research. That's all we can do. That's it for now. Whoa, there's a... What happened here? Whole bunch of stuff. My dear Josephine, I passed along the news of de Maurier's visit to a few influential parties and implied that he was, perhaps, trying to butter both sides of his bread. I would describe the outrage this idea provoked, but that would make this letter indecent, and your spy mistress would be abscond with it. You play as beautifully as ever, my dear. I can hardly wait to see what de Maurier's next move is. Give my love to your parents. Yours, Vicomtesse Elodie de Moreau. I don't even remember what that was about, but it was some Orlais game thing. Diverting soldiers in the Frostbacks. A letter delivered by messenger bird. My name is Sister Paulette. My sisters and I have been accompanying a handful of injured Inquisition soldiers through the Frostbacks. As they are no longer able to fight for the Inquisition, they wish to return to their families in Ferelden. These are strange times and many seek the solace or forgiveness of loved ones. Unfortunately, that peace may never come. A band of Avar, refusing to see reason, have pinned us down. We have taken refuge in a cave and are holding them off as best we can, but I do not know how long we can last. I understand this bird is trained to return to Skyhold. I pray it is so. We need aid. A note in Cullen's hand follows. I was gonna send Cullen just now. Soldiers dispatched from Skyhold itself will not reach them in time. We should have men near their location. We sent a party to pursue a group of Red Templars we suspect of moving captured civilians to one of their red Lyrium mines. A swift bird might reach the party, allowing them to go to the sisters' aid. However, we will likely lose the Templars' trail. So a bit of a consideration here. Do we want to save the people or follow the trail to find more Templars? Josephine, you're not telling me what you're doing here. These soldiers are our allies. They've done their part. We can't abandon them. I agree. But what are you doing? Okay, you're saying if I hone in on the Templars, then these soldiers... Oh, man. No one wants to make this call, but if the Red Templars escape, more people will be harmed. Our soldiers would understand. Ooh. But there's so many of the Templars. Oh, dear. So Josephine is saying, let's save the soldiers, and then Cullen is saying, let's follow the Templars. Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like right now, Josephine and Cullen represent the two different choices, but I do feel like if you ask our advisors from a more neutral perspective, I think we should be following the Templars. Our soldiers would understand. Doing a lot of heavy lifting here, but I'll have to pray they do.
To work?
Oh, that's painful. What? Oh, deploy Reese and Evangeline. Inquisitor, we have recovered from our wounds and are ready to serve the Inquisition as you see fit. Evangeline has friends among the Orlesian nobility who may listen to our cause, and I am familiar with several caches used by the rebel mages. Or, if you prefer, we would be honored to join the Inquisition troops near Val Fermin and fight the forces of Corypheus as best we can. A passionate warrior coming from a good family might bring the Inquisition a great deal of gold. Gold? Caches. We can send them out on a mission, but that would put them in danger, which I feel like Cole wouldn't be happy about. Let's wait till people come back. Gold? Gold? This is a senior enchanter and a Templar. They can do better than just give us gold. Oh, find Crestwood's mayor. The mayor of Crestwood left a letter confessing that he was the one who flooded the village 10 years ago, then he disappeared. The Inquisition must track him down if it's to serve justice. Serve justice? I can ask the Crown to post a warrant for the mayor's arrest. Hunt down with soldiers. I guess Josephine should be fine here.
Inquisitor?
It's a short one. Let's back out for a second and look around the place first. I don't even know what you guys are approving of anymore. But I'm glad you're happy.
He spent his life in the circle. Perhaps a tailored coat from Valroyo? He can't wear armor all the time.
He will appreciate the gesture, Lady Ambassador.
That's a polite way of saying he wouldn't like it, isn't it?
Hey, among ourselves, we shouldn't talk in code like that. You should say what you really think, because we have to present the united front to the outside, but within, we should talk more freely.
Yes.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
None in particular. Our guests are well pleased with what they've seen.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get dialogue until we do a big mission, probably. It's okay, we'll have a look around, though. Oh, my seeds! I should be checking my seeds!
I've got a minute if you need something.
Nothing?
Carry on.
I have to hand in my research. I'm pretty sure I've got something. How are your murals looking, Solus?
My friend.
Hello.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found in the Kokari Wilds a humble cottage far removed from any of the simple, chastened tribesmen. The trees and weeds had not reclaimed the home, nor did the chastened dare to come and steal the trinkets still remaining. It was empty, long abandoned, but the world feared that you might return.
Flemeth? You're talking about Flemeth's hut, right? Sounds like it.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I found an ancient spirit who had once been undisputed king of almost every land I had discovered. Like pride or rage, it was the Fade's reflection of a feeling. When I asked which one it was, the spirit faltered. "They've forgotten," said the spirit. "There remains no word for what I was."
That's somehow sad.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a young Canary working in a simple kitchen, baking bread as she was ordered every morning. In every loaf, she broke the rules. She'd take a pinch of sugar and fold it into the center, like a secret. And this act of small rebellion brought a shining smile across her face.
That's nice.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Things you find in the Fade, not necessarily some gigantic discovery, sometimes even just the small moments too. And Solus remembers it. I think that says a lot about him as a person as well. He does cherish the small things. Hello.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The blight caught up with him.
I was just gonna ask.
Are you alright?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
Are you saying romantically?
Were the two of you...
Felix and I? What an odd question. No, I had no intention of abusing Alexius's hospitality by seducing his son. Not that I've been proper my whole life by any means. It wasn't like that. Even in illness, Felix was the best of us. With him around, you knew things could be better.
That was a bit of a strange accusation out of the blue.
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I.
Oh my gosh.
Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.
Yeah, we couldn't find a cure for him or anything. It was just that.
I'm told you have Alexius researching magic for you. Research is always what made him happiest. Perhaps I'll even go talk to him eventually. One word of advice. If he suggests altering time as a way to solve all your problems, give it a pass.
Hey, instead of going to the future, what about going to the past?
You said Alexius was a mentor of yours.
He was my patron, sponsoring me to the higher levels of the Circle of Magi. In return, my successes were his. I had a lot of successes, naturally. Alexius was most pleased. He and I used to talk over brandy about the corruption, how we could one day make real change in the Imperium. And then he gave up. He stopped trying.
How did he end up in the Venatori?
Why did he give up?
On a journey to Hosburg, a Darkspawn raid killed his wife and sickened his son. I remember hearing the news. He hadn't been there, you see. Alexius was convinced he could have protected them. And the guilt tore him up. I helped him with his research for a while, and then we drifted apart.
That must have been difficult.
Back then, I was furious. I told him to snap out of it, move on. I thought I had all the answers. Later, I regretted my hasty words. But we didn't speak again until he approached me for the Venatori. Too much pride, I suppose. Plus, I was busy drinking. One must have priorities.
Dorian is a lot younger than Alexius. Alexius had a wife and son. I don't think Dorian is married or has children, so it's a different... I think maybe it's just difficult to understand that unless if you know what it's like to be a parent and then to lose your child and your spouse.
Was it hard being away from him?
It was hard not having a patron, yes. I'm not exactly built to fit in.
Not that part.
At any rate, he's fallen so low, I doubt he'll ever get up. Sad, really.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Popular topic. Anything specific?
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended. The Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City. It was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believed.
Suddenly we realized that there was value in all the dwarves in the Shape Writ writing down all the runes even though they don't understand what it means. Because if they had done that, if the Tevinters had done that, maybe now we would have something.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is, if he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
I almost don't want to kill him. I almost just want to sit him down and have him tell us what it was like back in the day, interview him a little bit. Almost.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
Here I thought we were just getting to the good part.
I think the new option probably came from one of the perks we got for new dialogue options. Way of the Necromancer, from Mortaletasi, for the living, the dead. The words of speaker Vius Anaxis make one passage stand out. We are of this world, and as with any piece that seeks to leave its element, there is a void when we abandon the mortal. It must be that this would hold our returning to the Maker. It must be that we should seek balance. It must be that the Maker's first children aid the second. An account. Breath ceased on the hour exactly. We felt his absence in that moment, and were ready. He was gentle, and all were claimed by the signs of spirit entering, knowing there would be no chains on their loved ones. Unfettered, he would find the side of the Maker, but that was not the training for the battlefield. I had heard the accounts and knew my role, and I was ready. Then our warriors signaled the charge, and I was not ready. Breath was not stilled by the hour and was not gentle, and I was sore afraid. Then the enemy countered, and I saw blades come for the good men, whom I had stood beside, and I would not allow it. The dead who had fallen, I bid their forms to serve, and it was a turn of our foes and no fear. But I had peace, for I had granted the fallen greater purpose, and in doing so, had honored life by protecting it. They think of it as, the Devinters think of it as a honorable thing.
It doesn't surprise me you found the Wardens mixed up in all this. From first-hand experience, you should be wary any time my old order is involved.
I am still so curious how you managed to get out of the Wardens. Yeah, we asked those ones already.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
Most are pleased with the Alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure we've asked this.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death.
Right.
But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
They tried to reinitiate you. They made you drink more Darkspawn blood, but it didn't work. What's here? This place mixes up... I don't know, man. This place is confusing. Hold up, hold up. Elisma?
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were?
Yes, Inquisitor.
Hopefully I've got some research stuff. Just one bowstring all this time? Seriously? No. No, no, no. Okay, let me... I don't think I've really gone out to look on the balcony place here. Oh, there's more. Okay, there's more. Shadow essences. Wait, who lives here? Why is there a bed here? Oh, Vivienne! I completely... You were in the begin. You were by Sarah and Blackwall before? I didn't even know you were living here. Hi.
You've made such intriguing design choices for the castle, my dear. They must be inspired.
I didn't do anything. This is so clearly sucking up.
Thank you, Vivienne. I'm glad you approve.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royo and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I know what she wants me to say. How do I really feel? I do think, yeah, a thin line between caring about appearances versus materialism. But the point is, I should be one of them. I don't think she'll be happy with this, though.
I should look like a commoner. I need to be perceived as a woman of the people.
By all means, appeal to the common folk, but be a figure that inspires them. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a woman who commoners aspire to be, and to whom nobles bow.
I agree. I agree with her. Style is the start of it. We all want to say that appearances, don't judge a book by its cover, but everyone will judge a book by its cover. If you're looking for a new book to read, you're probably gonna take the one with the shiny cover over the tattered one, to begin with.
That's quite a lot for one person to pull off, don't you think?
It is a challenge all great leaders must face, Inquisitor. The stories of your accomplishments will spread, and with them, doubt. Are you truly the woman from the tales? They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne.
Vivienne is totally one of those people who are like, oh my god, Divine Justinia V had a life before. That's not... She's impure. She's not allowed to be the Divine. Is that what you think? Because that kind of sounds like it.
How may I help you?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Sarah is certainly a colourful character. Like a poisonous toad, only without the manners.
A poisonous toad has manners?
Did you need something, darling?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
I don't know what to make of Solus. So much knowledge and so little personal history. I find that peculiar, don't you?
There is a sense of distance with him. Yeah, I agree.
Do you need something, my dear?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Whether Cole is a spirit or a demon is irrelevant. Neither can be trusted, my dear. Remember that. How may I help you?
He seems okay so far, but we don't know. Like, one day he might snap, and then what?
What are your thoughts about the other...
Our dear Lord Dorian is very sure of himself, isn't he? Let's hope he doesn't get his confidence crushed.
That sounds like you'd enjoy watching it get crushed.
Did you need something, darling?
What are your thoughts about the others in the...
Blackwall is a useful sort of fellow, but he's perhaps too eager to please. He reminds me of a pup begging for attention.
You're really...
Did you need something, darling?
You're quite up there, aren't you?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Wrong one.
Sarah is certainly a colourful character. Like a poisonous toad, only without the manners.
I want more. Give me more.
Do
Stop.
You need something,
Why is
dear?
it randomized? Just give me a thing for each one.
What are your thoughts about...
Our dear Lord... Do you need something,
I know you
dear?
have more.
What are your...
I admire Cassandra's determination. If she had a little charm, she could be a remarkable leader.
Well, I feel like you have this mold in your head about what you think a influential, strong person should be. Someone who knows how to play the game, someone who dresses well, someone who has a commanding aura and all that. But I feel like, I love Cassandra. I love Cassandra because of the way she is. If she was like what you described, if she had a little bit more charm, that's not Cassandra anymore. And that's not to say that Cassandra doesn't have charm. It's just not the kind of charm that you want her to have.
Darling?
There's a charm in her justness. I find that very charming, and she's the only person that I felt like, you know what, I'm just gonna say it like it is, because I feel like she would understand.
What are your thoughts about...
Sarah is certainly a...
Tell me about...
How may I help you?
Tell me about... I don't know.
What are your thoughts about the others?
Our dear Lord...
Wait, who's even left? Who's even left? Varric?
How may I help you?
What are your thoughts about...
Blackwall is a...
Are you gonna make me
need something, darling?
stay here all day long for Varric?
What are your thoughts?
Blackwall is...
I'll try once more.
How may I help you?
What are your thoughts about...
Blackwall is
okay, Blackwall. Everyone cares about Black... By the way, hey, Vivienne.
Did you need something, darling?
Do you think that you and I might someday...
That's charming, but you'll have to keep working on your technique.
The way we just outright ask her with no tact and stuff. Wow, I didn't know you lived here. Do you like it here? It's sort of like... it's not even a room. But hey, if you enjoy it. Construction report surfacing. Paint, plaster, tile, plaster, stone. Previous occupants have redressed over and over. Most are solid. Some I would strip down to the stone. The strength of this place is the foundation. Are we here for the long term, or is the Inquisition temporary? Amsel masonry. Do it right. The Inquisition is only temporary if we fail, and we're not failing the Inquisitor. I don't know about that, because the last Inquisition, apparently they did their thing and got out of here, so maybe that's something we want to do too. Way of the Night Enchanter. From rank and role in victory. Commander Helene's words make one passage stand out. Many are reluctant to include the rank, but that is because it is rare enough that they have not seen it deployed. Most change their mind when they fight alongside. All change their mind when they fight against. An account. The training was not pleasant for me. When I first exited my circle, I was as a babe new to the world, and then I was in battle, in defense of nation and name, and the lines did form, and my fellow mages took their positions in the rear. And I stepped forward. Then my place in the fray opened, and those of muscle and blade were around me, and I was not afraid. For I knew my role and worth, and soon did all others know them as well. Any concerns I had that the knights would not heed evaporated. All knew their rank, their place, and the value of that to their lives. Our blades were of a different ken, but our purpose was clear and defined. On the field in the battle, I command. The Vivienne is a knight enchanter then. I've got to take her out too. Haven't taken her out yet. Who needs something? Oh. Mother Giselle? Mother Giselle. Hold up, let me go talk to Liliana first. I think she's upstairs. On the other side. Yeah, Schmooples the second. So I guess Schmooples died at some point. I wonder how long nugs normally live. Didn't want to interrupt. Hello?
At your service, my lady. Anything I should know? I've nothing to report at the moment.
Okay.
I'll leave you to your work.
That's a nice touch. They just go to their... They go to the altar to pray occasionally. Okay, I did say next time that I wanted to jump down here. But I want to make sure I want to jump down and get back up to where I want to be. In the kitchen. The kitchen, I haven't looked at the stuff in the kit. Ah! Hold up, hold up. Wait. I'm trying to figure out where we are just by looking down. Ah, okay, I want to be over there. So... Alley-oop! Oh, that gave me a little bit of a fright just looking at it. Cullen's gone. The specialists are still here. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Inquisitor.
Yes. Let me do the war table before reaching out to the rest of you. Mother Giselle is looking for me? 1 second,
so
Mother.
Mortals try to find the Maker and that becomes blight.
It's just a story to scare children.
Where does it come from? What was the archdemon? That was real. You were in Denerim.
Old gods are demons. Darkspawn are demons. It's all demons.
That's a lot of demons.
Sure is. It would be blasphemy, but maybe even the Maker is some type of demon. Who knows? We don't know anything. We just try to live, we try to survive as best we can. We don't know anything about how the rules of this world works. Even all the stuff about the blights and the 7 archdemons, that's stuff we made up. We made it up to try to explain the place. What the? Is that a tranquil skull? It looks like it. It's got that thing with the eye. Note to Skyhold's gate guards. I hear the mayor of Crestwood's been found. When he comes in, stick him in the holding cells. Let him stew there until the Inquisitor brings him out for judgment. Jailer Blythe. Crestwood. To serve any master. Okay, only Josephine is free right now, so I'm gonna skim this to see if it seems Josephine relevant to begin with. Agents. Liliana? This might be a good one for Josephine too. Inquisitor! Here's an interesting thing. Among the various things we found at Kara Bronak that belonged to its former mercenary inhabitants was a journal, and in it I found mention of several high-placed clerks in the Imperial counting house who are, shall we say, known for their loose tongues. They sell what they know to mercenaries seeking to outbid others for work, but should we dispatch agents to speak with them, it would take very little pressure to have them work exclusively for us. The agents would need to remain to watch over our new friends, but I've been trying to place eyes on these positions for years.
If it was abandoned when we arrived, who named this place Skyhold?
Solus says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced.
I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost.
How did Solus even know about this place? Did we ask him that? This is a Josephine only one. Perfect.
At your service.
Yeah, he just took us there. How did he even know? There was this weird abandoned fortress. Did he see it in the Fade? Let's finish up checking on the rest of our people and get going to the western approach, because we were supposed to be in the middle of the whole warden thing and all. Mother Giselle?
Inquisitor? If you've a moment? My Lady Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
Oh?
Has Dorian done something wrong?
No, thankfully. It's nothing like that. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
Only to the extent that it's Dorian's family? Why are you in contact? Huh.
He's mentioned his family. They don't appear to be on good terms.
Yes. I believe you're correct. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
I don't know about that. Yeah. You can't even say yes, actually. Huh.
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible? I would speak to the young man myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
I don't know about that, because that's starting to sound a lot like butting into people's family matters. People who come from nice upbringings, they might want to believe that all families are like that, but that's just not the case.
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy...
That did occur to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case, but if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhere private, away from Skyhold, but not in Tevinter. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
Running away is often not someone's first reaction to disagreeing with their family, so I feel like if they really wanted to understand, they probably would have, ages ago.
What happens if Dorian doesn't agree?
Hopefully that will be the end of it. If not, well, that's why you should be there.
They don't want Dorian to know. That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
Reconciliation is not something everyone wants. We're taking this agency away from Dorian if we try to trick him into it. Plus, he'll lose his trust in me, which is not something I want happening. I don't mind telling him straight up what's happening, and we can mention that the letter, his parents sound remorseful or whatever, but I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I want to come over here. Oh, hey, look, your family's here. That's no good.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
I am not a fan of this. Official-looking letter, Your Reverence. We can talk to Dorian about it. Yeah. I understand that you feel inadequate to the task of bringing Dorian to a secret meeting. Even in the asking, I find it difficult to believe myself. Considering my son has rebuffed all contact, this is the only way. I know him. He would be too proud to come if he knew. Even just to talk. That is all we wish to do. The thought of Dorian in the south, placing himself in the path of such danger, alarms us more than I can express. If this somehow succeeds, we have a family retainer at the Vandrel Hills watching for Dorian's arrival. He will bring the boy to us, somewhere private. If Dorian utterly refuses to go with him, it ends there. And there is nothing we can do. We are at our wits' end. Graciously yours, Magister Halward of House Pavis. Not a chance that I'm gonna trick him, but we can talk to him about it right now.
Where did demons come from?
Mages. The Fade.
But where did they come from?
The Maker's first children, I think.
And he let them become old gods?
I don't know. The firstborn are spoiled shits.
Those two people have really interesting conversations all the time. Just say it to him straight. Maybe it'll pique his curiosity enough. We don't know, okay? I don't like butting into people's family matters like this. Especially not by trickery.
Questions.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
I'm afraid not.
It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
Well, he didn't need any convincing. This was probably the right move.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
We're gonna go talk to him by going there. I feel like he's not gonna be happy. It's not about whether he's happy or not. Let's just go.
Let's go meet this retainer then.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough.
Well, he'll probably have to wait for like 20 more days, because I don't plan on going there just yet. Gotta finish talking to the rest of our people. I feel like this whole situation is... I don't know, it's triggering some, like, feelings about being a kid and your parents and, like, all this stuff about how, oh, your parents know best, and parents and children always, you know, they're bound by blood, and they must have good relationships and all that, which... I mean, I have a good relationship with my parents, but that's not the case for everyone. I just don't like butting into people's lives like that. Hey, Cullen, you're here now.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. Theronfall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
Samson.
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
So in this timeline, we didn't know about the Theronfall Redoubt. I mean, we did already from the War Table mission, but now Cullen is confirming to us that that's where the central... where things were happening to begin with.
The Red Templars swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require Lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Where do we begin?
Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
Oh, this is gonna be like the stuff that each companion wants us to do. Samson. 3 letters. Samson, which one would it be? Sir Stroud. Born the younger son of a minor noble family in the fields of Ghislaine, Jean-Marc Stroud had just finished training at the Académie des Chevaliers when he received word that his family had been killed, ostensibly by bandits. In reality, they were victims of the Orlesian Great Game. Sir Stroud's plan to find his family's murderers was cut short when the Grey Warden Clarel recruited Stroud on the advice of the Academy trainers, who did not wish to see a promising young chevalier throw his life away in fruitless pursuit of vengeance. Unable to refuse such a request honorably, Sir Stroud joined the Wardens and left his old life behind. Warden Stroud has served the Grey Wardens with honor for decades. He is regarded as one of the finest swordsmen in the Order, combining his study at the Academy with years of fighting Darkspawn alongside dwarves in the Deep Roads. Warden Commander Clarel has tasked him with recruiting and training new Wardens. Most young Warden warriors owe their skill to Stroud's mentorship. Stroud prefers to travel in the free marches rather than Orlais, knowing his family history could cause him to become caught up in the game, leading to accusations of political interference among the Wardens. He also has no strong opinions regarding mages or Templars, although he believes both groups wrong to turn their back on the Chantry, which Stroud holds in some esteem. An intelligence report to Liliana. A moderate kind of person, no strong opinions on mages and Templars. So he's usually in the free marches. Maybe that's also part of why he wasn't affected by the calling, because he did mention the Wardens in Orlais heard the calling. There's a proximity effect to the calling, because Corypheus is in Orlais. And so the Wardens nearby, the most nearby ones, are affected. There's Sir Stroud, very plain card. And here's Samson, looking like an evil, evil overlord already. General Samson on your own. You may have heard stories of how Samson used to be a Templar in Kirkwall until he was thrown out of the Order, that he became a vagrant begging for a coin to buy Lyrium. Yeah, he just seemed like a random beggar back in 2. That man no longer exists. The fiend who attacked us at Haven had the strength of a dozen men. Samson has the training of a Templar and all the power of red lyrium at his command. For those who did not see it firsthand, he is as dangerous as any demon, perhaps worse. Treat him as such. I will hold personally accountable any officers who do not communicate this order to their soldiers. A letter from Cullen. Sarah. I'm pretty sure I've read about Sarah already. Did something new get added? Addendum. On Sarah's fascination with dragons, I do not know what Sarah finds in dragons that enthralls her so, but it is clear from her excited admissions that battling them speaks to her in a way for which she was not prepared, at least in my estimation. If you seek an admission, at best she will declare, "That was grand," or something similar. She's hardly introspective. Nevertheless, she has expressed an interest in any future hunts. Okay. Crude drawing of Sarah, tongue out, standing atop a dragon, mimicking its horns with her fingers. Okay, so when we go back to Crestwood, or Hinterlands, I will bring you for sure then. Shaper Volta. Oh, this is the Orzammar lady. I want to hold off on this one until we go back on it. I will remember that we haven't read this yet. 44. Warden Commander Clarel. To Arl Tegan Guerin. I sought a chance to speak with you in person, my lord, in hopes of convincing you to allow us to send further aid to Ferelden, to give to the Grey Wardens in your homeland a chance to rebuild. I hope this letter succeeds, where my requests for a meeting have not. I understand Ferelden feelings regarding Grey Wardens. Sophia Dryden's actions were reprehensible. Grey Wardens are forbidden from interfering with the affairs of nations, save when we must exert our authority to battle the Blight. Still, even you must acknowledge the vital necessity of my order, after the Blight nearly ravished your homeland. Without the Grey Wardens, Ferelden would be a wasteland populated by only Darkspawn. I understand as well your concern that I am a mage. A mage commander. Living outside the confines of the Circle, I have been informed that you saw magic ill used by apostates at Redcliffe. You have my sympathy in this, but not my apology. The Maker saw fit to give me the gift of magic, along with a temperament better suited to battle than quiet meditation. I left the Circle legally, and the Grey Wardens gave me a chance to use my abilities to defend our land. I am no apostate. My first interest, Arltegan, indeed, my only interest, is to see this world protected from the Blight. I may be the Warden Commander of Orlais, but I am not Orlesian at heart. I am a Grey Warden, and nothing more, and I will defend this land from horrors you cannot even imagine. My oath comes before political ambition, before concerns about the rights of mages. It will one day come before my own survival. I hope to hear from you soon. Yours, Warden Commander Clarel de Chanson. There's some... we haven't met her yet, but at the moment it sounds like there might be a possibility that she's not quite right in some way. Has she been affected by the calling already, or something else? I guess we'll have to see. Oh!
As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
Don't say it like that, just say it.
You're being especially serious today.
I know.
What?
Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of Lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Good. That's a good thing. I think he realizes that it's a tool to control them. He doesn't want to be part of that anymore. That's part of his resolve in quitting the Templars in the first place.
Why are you doing this?
After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
You're a good man, Cullen. Do you feel okay?
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
So that's a yes.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment.
That is pertinent information for us to know. Confessions of a Lyrium addict. Oh, I want to read that too. But which one is it? We don't know. Okay, this one is also related to the... Okay, I'm actually gonna write this down. We're gonna read these ones back when we go back to Orzammar. Hold up. Letters and notes. 16? Okay. Not right now. Is it here? Confessions? No, it's not even here. It's number 1 under magic. Confessions of a Lyrium addict. A prison cell, a scrap of paper for my confession. Scarce enough, bread and water. All I get for skimming one lousy bottle from the Lyrium stores. Knight Lieutenant Freyan cut my normal rations for insubordination. Insubordination, my arse. It's because I saw him desert the guard tower to meet his girl. Freyan thought he'd teach me a lesson. I'm thirsty, but the water doesn't work. It should be more blue. You take it like medicine at first, the Lyrium. Your whole body sings with it, like the Maker's own fire. You're not scared of anything, not even abominations. After, it even takes away the nightmares. But the ration's too small. If they don't give you enough, your hands get cold. The sky starts to press down on you. Little things slip away, so you have to stay. The senior Templars all have that look, that cloudy look in their eyes. Sign your confession, they said. I'm trying. I can't think of what name to sign. Confessions of an Unknown Templar. Oh my goodness. I feel like what Cullen is doing here, it might be a good idea to get every other Templar, ex-Templar, to do the same too. We all start somewhere, right? And I don't want you guys to be all drug addicts for the rest of your life. You're letting that Lyrium control you.
Did you need something?
Oh.
You and the Red Templar's leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. He seemed a decent man at first, Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He ended up begging on Kirkwall streets. He committed further crimes, but managed to evade the Order's justice. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Why would that... yeah, like, how did that even come about?
Why do you think Samson joined Corypheus?
Because he has Lyrium.
Lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin buying it from local smugglers. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as Lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
There are Templars who have some morality more than that, but yeah, the whole Lyrium addiction thing, if someone can give you a constant flow of Lyrium, that makes you even stronger than the normal Lyrium, people are gonna be persuaded.
It sounds like Samson had a miserable life.
The Order expelled him, but he had choices. He could have found another path. I don't understand how he became so powerful. Even with Red Lyrium, Samson's glory days are long behind him.
Sometimes all it takes is one bad turn, and then your life just seems like there's a snowball effect, and it's really hard to come back from. And everything started because of the Lyrium addiction to begin with.